stop taking reservations then?
No, what do you think?
I'm kind of torn because I agree holistically and changing it, but the building itself is structurally
Oh, sure,
great.
building's fine.
And if that's a way to get people into that park because they needed, and they've never been to one of our parks and that's the way, oh my gosh, I've never been here, this is great, and you blah, 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 and then they start utilizing it more. Kind of a catch, you know? I mean, if we're gonna demo, then yes, I don't want anybody in there and we have things tore up. But if we're gonna wait 6 months to demo and people just want it for a meeting space, I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that. Especially over the winter months. Oh yeah, definitely not weddings or things like that, but,
So
you know,
limited to meetings and things of that nature, or?
I don't know. Thoughts?
One, it's worth noting, and I don't know what perhaps Todd was gonna jump in on, but every special use permit that is outside of normal use, a waiver of liability accompanies that special use permit. So there is some indemnification.
Unless you have a dangerous condition that exists.
Well, in
That you
addition,
have properly.
in addition to improving the signage for this particular venue, can we make sure we're putting them on notice and maybe even include a piece of paper with the waiver advising them that the deck is closed?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just add a provision that, the deck is closed.
We can do that in paperwork.
I mean, again, we're going into fall and winter months where the deck is not going to hopefully be.
Sure.
Now, do people wanna go out in the fall and probably, but to limit, if we're not gonna knock that down, if that's something like, yeah, let's do it, but if we're gonna wait 5 or 6 months, knock that down, I don't know, I would hate to limit the building.
I would limit it to
Yeah, not big
meetings,
functions.
no, nothing that's going to create, an atmosphere where people would be, less reluctant to go out into a closed deck.
Right, we're past grad parties, we're past,
A lot of people are calling about weddings, things of that nature.
They are.
So, well, when I say a lot, the ones that are calling about Veterans Legacy in particular.
our particular.
Yes.
And I've been to a couple of weddings at that location, so I mean, it's beautiful, but I just, I don't wanna see anybody hurt.
What if we hold off and let's wait until we hear where this leads to this week?
That's a good idea.
I think from what Todd's saying, if we add the additional signage and the waiver, I mean, that seems like,
And there are a number of examples where there's construction going on in the parks, signage. I remember telling former legal counsel with a special use permit, he was surprised how exhausted Geauga Park District is in requesting a special use permit for those things outside the scope of general parks and recreation. So I think we have a pretty good plan to protect ourselves. So I do want to mention, though, as part of the master planning process, we're a ways out on Veterans Legacy Woods. The timeline is design development in next year, 2020.
yeah, Paul just finished up his management plan, and then Annie and Dan and I are just starting to look at kind of the overall master plan development based on Paul's plan. So, I mean, ideally, we'd be looking at hopefully having a master plan early in 20, and then going out for some design development early next year with the engineers. So, construction would be closer to probably 21.
And the reason for that is just this timeline of moving from Over Hollows to now Welton's Gorge construction next year. So, yeah, it's just worth
A lot
mentioning.
of projects.
Yeah, we're ways out from getting a new deck on that building realistically, or anything else for that matter.
And my only hesitation is I hate to just rip a deck off right away before we have a sense of where we're going.
I got you.
So we're not ripping the deck off.
I'm not sure.
I don't agree.
I'm raising this
Hey,
No.
that's the beauty of having a conversation. You can throw out a crazy
Here's
idea.
the only point I was gonna make is if that was something that was gonna happen quickly, money would have to be moved and that can't be presented till the next meeting. So I just wanna be clear
Yeah.
with
Understood.
funds, so.
I think as long as we can make sure that nobody's, that we're well protected, and that people are definitely aware of the condition of that particular area, and that they, just stay out of here. I mean, we're working on trying to figure out what we're gonna do with this thing, so,
That's,
you know, and I agree with you, don't rush into anything, so. But if you're gonna rent it out for a wedding, you're gonna want the deck. If you're gonna rent it out for a party, whatever it might be, an anniversary, whatever, you're gonna want the deck. So, I can't see anybody, unless it's in January. So, I don't know, I would just be very cautious moving forward. So what do you wanna do? As far as using the facility?
I think we continue. I think if we add, like Todd said, an addendum that says, and that when they're calling Cheryl, she's letting them know.
Yeah, we do, front desk lets them know.
All right,
Right, the deck is, not usable.
I'm good with that.
I think there's still plenty of places on the grounds that if they wanna take wedding pictures or whatever, they can still do that, they don't have to take them off the deck, so to speak. And the deck's not wide enough really, I don't think, to get much of a photo anyway from, but the professional photographer is gonna be back far enough to get a wedding card or whatever.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but our experience has shown us that when we execute the master planning process as a whole, we can save the taxpayers money ultimately in going in one phase of a project. I recall this project back in the early '90s, there was, right over here where the restroom is, there was an old clubhouse sitting there. These used to be a trout fishing club. And the planners at the time evaluated whether or not that building was structurally sound, whether it would make a nice lodge of sorts, and as you look over, you see it's not there anymore. And everything was accomplished at this park within one phase of construction, as opposed to other parks where we've perhaps not incorporated one master plan into 1 year or even 2 years, and we've come back and there have been cost overruns from year to year.
Right.
So
Makes sense.
we just deal with it all at once and save the taxpayers a little bit of money.
I do want to use, since we were talking about signage, just to take a moment, I was talking with NDCL's president, and he had asked, who does your signage, blah, 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 blah. And I said, we do most of it in-house and all this stuff. And he said, well, they were creating a master plan last year, and so he had sent out multiple staff members to Cuyahoga, Lake, and Geauga County to look at facilities that they thought the best signage came from. And hands down, Geauga Parks, they loved the consistency, the style, just the vibrancy, the amount of signage that they had. And so they're clearly different colors, but they're kind of basing their new signage for the next 2 years off of what we do at Geauga Parks. So kind of cool and exciting.
That's worth a mention to our North Operations Maintenance Foreman, sign tech Sean Harry. He's been with the organization for a long time, and he does a great job. And as far as branding, we went through branding everything, same font, same look, so thank you, thanks for mentioning that. Okay, so we will continue to provide updates on the food service management contract and other things revolving around that facility, but and for now, the deck will stay, and we will make our patrons aware that it is closed. All right, moving on to new business, planning and operations update. All projects are underway, if not complete. Zerby construction is moving right along at Prairie Meadows. There have not been any more questions about the setback between the two shelters, the zoning setback. So Zerby is moving along. Griswold Creek restoration is complete at Bessie Benner Messenbaum Park. Prairie Meadows asphalt resurfacing will accompany when the timing is right for the improvements that Zerby Construction is doing. Ellen Russell asphalt resurfacing is complete. And Big Creek Park improvements, the new shelter at Big Creek Park at Deep Woods, they started framing the shelter last week. Yeah, it looks good. Some nice massive beams, so that project is moving along. So any questions for Matt on projects? Next up is a then and now encumbrance, resolution number 16, a then and now encumbrance for $39 and $297 is put before you for approval. This is requested to cover services provided from Lake Health in 2017 and 2018. Geauga Park District did not have record of an invoice or late payment from Lake Health in memorandum serves as a request for approval on the above then and now purchase orders for health services provided in 2017 and 2018. So,
So moved.
thank you.
Second.
Any questions? Not. Mrs. DeTore?
Yes.
Mr. Bates?
Yes.
And Mr. Long?
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is surplus property.
I so moved.